Hi. Yeah. We're doing this in my parents' backyard. So this is what you get if you want any videos. I'm sorry. And now we've got super cool reflections and things which are going to be super awesome. Hi. This is your July read. Let's see who we're reading for. We already did Capricorn. Aries. Okay, we're going to do it, Aries. It's your turn. Please bear with me. There is some central AC noise that's happening over there. If you are here, please check out your rising moon and Venus sign for additional messages. In addition to that, you probably also believe in esoteric things, and my posture's not great and everything's not great because, I didn't bring all of my equipment with me to produce amazing videos, but we're going to do this anyways because I do need to accomplish something every day. I just have to. Anyway, if you are here, you believe in esoteric things like I was saying. So, on my right, I am clairaudient, clairsentient, claircognizant. On my right, when I hear ringing, it'll be messages from people I know that have passed on, and on my left, it will be my spirit guides. So let's get started. We're going to use the Paulina Tarot. There will be no, unfortunately, regrettably, there will be no magnetic poetry or clarification because I wasn't going to pack all of that stuff with me. No. At my parents' place, my mom just had surgery, so that's what I'm doing with my time. Just hanging out here. And you get to see a little bit more of the cards than you're normally used to. Yeah, that's okay too. We're just going to do it like that. And we'll do the stripped down version of AD Tarology here. And it's just going to have to be what it's going to be. Yeah. That reflection's really bothering me. Something is trying to get your attention. And the song that I was listening to when I shuffled all my stuff while I was getting ready to do this was The Hardest Button to Button by the White Stripes. So, that's something for somebody. Again, this might not resonate. Please check your sign. And I will not be selling readings, at least not just yet. If you subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. Seems like there's some general housekeeping items that you also need to take care of. And a twist for fairness, as always, as we always do. Yeah. Okay, let's get started. We're going to do past, present, future spread. So let's look at the past for you for July. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. You had a doozy of a read. We're not taking all of those. We have a rule of 3. Doozy of a read last time. Doozy of a month. It's been stressful. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. We had 10 of Pentacles that kind of wanted to go. We had 2 here. What are they? We have the 7 of Swords. First, treachery. Doing something that's kind of behind people's back, but isn't really behind people's back. You feel like you're getting away with something, but you're not really. You know that there's transparency that is a part of this at the same time. And then we have the 6 of Pentacles. Doesn't seem quite fair. Libra energy, lack of balance. Lack of balance, lack of equilibrium. You kind of feel off kilter a little bit because you kind of feel like the dealings that are happening around you might not necessarily be the most on the up and up right now. Normally the 7 of Swords is a guy sneaking away with the swords on his back while the soldiers are sleeping, right? You feel like the 3 swords are pointing at you to attack you while you're trying to run away with the others. You're looking behind you. So, and again, it's that lack of balance, lack of equilibrium, Normally the 6 of Pentacles is, the charity or the donation. So, seems that there is a little bit of a lack of balance, or you feel off balance at this time. Or sorry, rather in the past. What else for you in the past? Libra, or sorry, I almost said Libra. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Ooh, I hope we aren't getting a storm coming in. That'd be kind of cool. At the same time as doing your reading. Aries. Let's see. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. I'm like leaned right over. I got my elbows on my knees right now. Okay, Well, we can't take all of those, but we will take this one. Then we got Knight of Cups. There is a little bit of action, emotional action towards somebody. Usually this is our knight in shining armor. Somebody who rushes in with romanticism at play. It's rescuer energy. Somebody who comes in guns a-blazing with that cup there. A lot of emotionality behind this action. Something that says more through the action than the words. It's like I said, poeticism, romanticism, and moving towards somebody with emotional fervor. Because you know that it's not fair. You want to convey that to someone. Keep going. We got 2. We have the 10 of Wands and the 7 of Pentacles. 10 of Wands in the upright, 7 of Pentacles in the reverse. A lack of investment. Responsibilities, bearing responsibilities and burdens in the recent past. Could be that you're trying to, or somebody else is trying to poetically charge in with action or do something that's poetic in nature, has poetic license to it, or romanticism attached to it. There's burdens and worry and responsibility that you're carrying right now. I see that as you, primarily. And then a lack of investment. A lack of investment is inherent with the 7 of Pentacles. It's just, there's just not enough being put into something for it to grow further. There is no low-hanging fruit to pluck. That 7 of Pentacles in the reverse, which means that, you know, in the past it was like the burden was. It seems like the burden was that there was no investment being put into the future. What else? Finally, Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. What else? For July. We have 2. An ending. An ending happened, which also resulted in the no beginning, which is just an ending also. Isn't that interesting? We have the Scorpio card here, Death in the upright, followed by no beginning of an emotional sense. There was something you're anticipating that would begin of an emotional sense. Rebirth in a relationship, or the beginning of a relationship of some sort, that did not transpire because of an abrupt ending. Necessary or transformative energy, something that transforms so that something of an emotional sense could not begin or rekindle. It had to end because there was a lack of investment in the present. Sorry, my parents' neighbors. Piece of work. I've been listening to headphones so I don't have to listen to it because I got the preamble, but I won't talk about it. Present energy for you, Aries. Okay, we have the 2 of Wands, waiting, looking out over the land and deciding what is your next step. It's almost like crossroads energy. See there? X will mark the place. Just kind of at a standstill right now, surveying what it is that, what direction would you like to embark upon, not yet taking action or making any decisive statements regarding that. Just knowing that there is an opportunity for you to stand in delay, and that is what that is delay, wait, a wait and see energy, right? Followed by the 8 of Cups, yeah, walking away from something that would normally have been, you know, an emotional fulfillment of sorts, in order to seek out the 9 of Cups, which would be your own wish fulfillment of an emotional nature. Seems like because there was in the past some treachery at hand, that's why you were hesitant. You're hesitant to walk away from something that was of emotional stability for you. There was treachery at hand. You realized that there was the equilibrium was off. So now you're holding back, and as a result of holding back, either you or somebody else is walking away from the situation in the present. I think you're holding back, and your delay with the situation is causing somebody else to do this rather than you, because they don't feel that it's they don't feel the equilibrium in effort is here. They might actually consider it treacherous in between the 2 of you. There's something that is deceitful in between the 2 of you. Even though there was action taken of a romantic or poetic nature, they might have done that as a last-ditch effort, or you might have done that as an attempt to demonstrate that there was no treachery. This is burdensome for you. What else? Burdensome for you. No. You feel like somebody's observing you. Just had like that feeling of looking behind your shoulder. It's starting to rain, by the way. Having that feeling like looking over your shoulder like somebody's watching and observing your moves. A Hierophant, permission versus not permission. This is being affiliated with highly institutionalized religious structures or philosophies that have a high order, that are very well established. Taurus energy on that. You're very strong, you stand very strong in your beliefs, and I think this is what is guiding you to walk away from something of an emotional nature, or guiding somebody else to walk away from something of an emotional nature. Like their beliefs are what guides them and permits or does not permit them to move forward in a specific emotional sense with somebody. This could also be what governs their ability to act from that Knight of Cups space, right? Is the thou shalt not pass or thou shalt pass type energy. Religious belief, philosophical belief, any spiritual belief. There could also be seeking counsel through a sage, somebody who has age-old advice to offer in a certain sense. You feel burdened. You might actually be seeking therapy during this time in the present because of your burdens and worries and the confines of having to deal with responsibility, where you really want to jet forward and you want to take action, emotionally fulfilling action towards somebody. You want to rescue somebody, but you can't because your burdens are too heavy. And you want to seek advice on how to best navigate this feeling, because you feel that you've had to walk away from something that would have been promising. What else? Aries. On the Esplanade by Julian Plenty, which is basically just Paul Banks, but nonetheless. Okay. Four of Pentacles, yeah. There's greed or saving up or protectionism over your emotions or your material possessions at this time, because you are feeling burdened, overworked, feeling the weight of responsibility bearing upon your shoulders. Feel that in the past there was a lack of investment of some sort, and so you're holding on tightly to what you do have that you can hold tight to your chest. What you do have that is yours, you're starting to feel very protection oriented over. Could have to do with this Knight of Cups energy, that passionate action towards something that you feel compelled to charge in towards something with. But now all of a sudden you feel that you have to hold it tight. And you're having a hard time giving yourself permission with that Hierophant there to move any further out from it. Yeah, no partnership, no contract. The need, the reminder that there is a need for you to work on union of mind, body, and spirit at this time. You have been investing in one of the three more than the other. There's a lack of balance and equilibrium. I think this is going to help you navigate the fact that you do have burdens on your shoulders with that Ten of Wands. Feels like the whole world is up on my shoulders. Same town, new story. Getting it over here. Same town, new story. She found a winning man. Feels like the whole world is up on my shoulders. Feels like the whole world is coming down on me. Feels like the whole world is up on my shoulders. So like this person is, it's either you or somebody else is coming in, wants to charge in with this action, this creative, romantic, poetic action of emotional fulfillment. It's supposed to provide somebody with emotional fulfillment, but the burdens are too much and there's been a lack of investment, so an ending occurs in the past. This Three of Pentacles in the reverse shows us that It's really jarred your belief system. With things that you always believed in, you've had to start to question the structures that you believed to be well established. And you know, I'm getting that word old guard, the energy of a long-standing, well-established, always going to be there no matter what type of energy doesn't seem to be the case. You're holding close to your chest what you can, that you know you can preserve with the Four of Pentacles, but you know that there is no deal because of the lack of investment. You know there's an ending impending. You know there's an ending impending in the present. That there's a contract that's not happening. And you're mourning this. There have been many tears shed, I'm hearing over here. We got the rain starting. There is a partnership that did not happen. There is a friendship that's on the rocks. There's, with the Three of Pentacles, it's normally friendship energy, partnerships, contracts, deals being struck in between people with a mediator in between them. But also, it's about the union of mind, body, and spirit, and if you're working towards that or not. And if you're not working towards that, or, you know, this is the harbinger of one is out of equilibrium with the others. So while you might be have been taking care of your physical world, were you taking care of your spiritual and your emotional and intellectual worlds? I don't know. Something is going to end here. Ending is impending. Well, that was easy. I think we just got our last two. Yeah. Fuck. So, there is heartbreak right now. You're going through heartbreak right now. In the present, you're experiencing heartbreak because there was no contract, or because of a contract not going the way you had planned. The lack of equilibrium in between mind, body, and spirit. And then the Three of Swords. Heartbreak, having to navigate heartbreak. And normally I don't normally get 7 for every row, but I got 7 for you in both rows. Then you're moving back to the Two of Swords. You're reverting backwards instead of advancing to the Four of Swords with that Three of Swords energy. You're going back into crossroads energy where you wish to claim ignorance. I don't know what you're talking about. This is blindness. I can't see anything. I don't know which direction to turn into. You're at a crossroads. I could go anywhere. This ending occurred and it created a space for you where it's not confusion but willful ignorance here. I am refusing to look at what hurts me and what pains me, because if I do, then I have to choose a direction, and right now I'm refusing to choose a direction because it's too painful to look at. The ending was too painful to look at because it didn't result in a beginning of a new cycle of emotional, you know, fulfillment in a relationship of some sort. That's kind of brutal, Aries. Considering your last read, I'm not surprised. And fold in your other placements, because this isn't necessarily, I don't want this to be just all foreboding now that it's starting to rain. And now that I've dropped all my cards on the ground, 2 seconds. Okay, let's keep going, sorry. Yeah. What else? In the future for you, Aries, I think things will look a little bit brighter, at least I hope. That's too many. What else, Aries? Okay, Queen of Cups. Highly intuitive, feminine, Cancerian, Piscean energy for you there. Normally I see this as Cancer, Scorpio energy, but I'm seeing this in this particular card as Piscean, Cancerian energy. You've been waiting to follow your intuition. You've been waiting for a sign. You've been waiting for something to bring you a signal of sorts, something to guide you on your path, something to let you know that walking away from something of emotional fulfillment is the right step for you, or that it was okay to let something go. You're not quite sure yet. but you're waiting for it, and either somebody or something is going to come in to show you. Either that, or this is an invitation for you to get more in touch with your emotional, intuitive, feminine, watery side. Somebody who's more nurturing from the emotional space. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to puke out all your feelings either. It just means that that's something that you need to work on and embody within yourself. What else do we have? Too many. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for July in the future. It's interesting what I'm getting here with the Eight of Cups, and then kitty corner to it being the Queen of Cups. It's almost like, you see how she's got that one cup? It's almost like he walked away from those 8 cups that he had replenished, but he wants to keep one. If he could just keep one and just hold out hope that in the end that cup will still be intact if he does decide to come back in the future. Let's see. Because that's what I feel like. It's like I nurtured this one cup so much, even if I walk away, will it still be there, sitting upright for me? It's like a secret. Ace of Pentacles, new contracts, new beginnings of a material nature, typically. This can also be considered earthbound energy if we're talking about romantic beginnings. But I see this more for you as a joyous new beginning, a joyous new contract, a joyous new offer. It's going to provide you with some sense of stability, breaking out onto a new path, adventurousness, which is what you're really all about if we think about it, with the Fool card being yours. It is about breaking out onto the path and being adventurous with your energy, learning how to do that, which is huge. It is huge. But this is something very celebratory, as we see with the horn blower there. So it's something that requires an announcement. In the future, you will be encountering this. If we're looking at timings, probably nearing Scorpio season. So if you're looking at entering a new contract, getting a new job offer, getting a new position, it's more than likely going to be during Scorpio season for you. But this is a new beginning of a professional nature, or a new beginning in a material sense. It doesn't necessarily have to be money. It could also have to do with, all things earthbound, profound respect for the things that are built upon the earth, right? Some people could be buying a new house, I'm hearing over here. Closing out a mortgage. Closing out a mortgage. The thunder just started, if you didn't hear that. Yeah. And that could be the celebration, but it's a new start for you because now it's fresh. You can do things anew. The Fool. And what was I saying? Striking out on your own path, being adventurous for the purpose, you don't want to talk about it, for the purpose of learning. You're a little trepidatious about it. You do have to grant yourself permission to do it, and it is going to strike out against old, highly pre-established traditions. You're going to have to walk away from something that was normally of emotional fulfillment for you, and it's going to mean relinquishing those things that you hold so near and dear to your heart. But at the same time, what does this say to you, Aries? New offer of an emotional and a material and stable sense, followed by striking out on a new path and being adventurous. See, the thing about the Fool is that you don't know if you're jumping off a cliff to your death, or if you're actually going to be embarking on a new journey that's going to provide you with all of the fulfillment of the Ten of Pentacles. You really don't. Just in the context of moving from the Ace of Pentacles into the Fool, it's up to you to decide whether or not taking that risk is valuable enough for you. Regardless of if it is plummeting to one's death or merrily trotting along with the dog in tow, you're going to need to take the journey in order to learn the lesson. Alright? What else? Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. If I didn't tell you there's no magnetic poetry, there's no clarifiers, gotta get a move on. Just do. Okay. 6 of Wands. Yeah, there's a victorious homecoming. There's something here that has to do with it's like that homecoming energy when a knight comes back from war and he's highly decorated and he's on his horse and he trots in and the crowd applauds him and it's amazing. That's what this is. I'm hearing right now, it's now or never. She's coming home forever. And it's trotting in on that horse. There's triumphant victory here, celebration after holding so closely to something and being so scared, so reticent to break out and do something new. You finally did, and you realize the reward when you come home and you're rewarded for all of your hard work and you're lauded with praise for the things that you have accomplished. After something that you thought was futile, you know? After heartbreak, you triumphed over heartbreak. You didn't even know which path to take, and the path was made for you. The path was presented to you to decide whether or not to choose, whether or not to embark upon it. You just needed to remove your blindfold. I'm hearing over here. What else? Let's see. What else? If you see any crazy wackos behind me, it's just the neighbors. I can't control what they do, and I don't care to. But they've been giving my parents a pretty hard time. So I've heard. I've been wearing earbuds so that I don't hear it. But this is what I've been informed of. What else, finally? What do we got for you, Aries? Okay, 8 of Pentacles, working, apprenticeship energy, mastering one's craft, honing one's craft. There's artistry involved here too. If you see, they are dancing on point shoes and they are attempting to paint a pentacle. So this is learning. This is hard work. This is investing through putting in the action. Action is eloquence, like Shakespeare once said. It's almost like you're channeling your pain through the hard work. It's almost like you work out your feelings through working hard. And you can prove your worth after this 3 of Pentacles in reverse, where you thought there was going to be a partnership or a contract or an alliance and it fell through. You're proving to yourself your own worth by embodying this the 8 of Pentacles. I almost said Ace of Pentacles. Did you hear that? 8 of Pentacles energy. Lastly, for Aries, we can't have that many. What else? I almost feel like the Tower. Normally the Tower is what we get with it, but no, it's Knight of Swords, Gemini energy. There's a little bit of quick impulsive action, and I do want to caution you with that because it falls just beneath the 3 of Swords. This is a caution for you that when in the future you may encounter something that triggers you, to think back at what it was like to have an allegiance contract fall through, a partnership fall through, or a questioning of how you balance the relationship you have in between mind, body, and spirit caused you pain, deep heartbreak, that you are to look at your impulsive action, look at your impulsive communication, look at how you move swiftly through things and see if that is the best course of action. Because here in the present, you're not quite sure and you wish to keep the blindfold on and stand at the crossroads, at an impasse, at a stalemate. You're voluntarily doing that in the present. Whereas in the future, we see impulsive action triggered by something falling through that reminds you of a situation in the past where that happened and it caused for you a great deal of pain, emotional pain, intellectual pain. It's up to you. I would say the advice here seems to be to focus on your work and not be impulsive. Watch the silver tongue, you know, because it can be cutting. Overall energy for you, this is not the time to celebrate. I heard this in another person's reading, but this is not the time to celebrate. Also gossip, hen parties, People, you might be sitting around watching a bunch of ladies gossip, hearing their conversation. You may actually be sitting in disgust while you hear this, and maybe thinking to yourself, this is not the time to celebrate, because usually this is celebratory energy. People getting together in gaiety and enjoying, imbibing, because they're so happy over an event. 3 friends getting together and celebrating a joyous event, joyous occasion. But here, this is not what's happening. This is not the time to celebrate. And I've heard this a couple times for this particular card. So that's what you're encountering at this time. Anyways, Aries, that's what I got for you now. Please check out your other placements, because, I mean, this may not be the thing for you. I don't know. But, yeah, I'm going to go for now. And it's gotten really nice and comfortably cool out here. So I hope you enjoyed. And hit me up, and I'll see what I can give you next time. Bye. And there's your spread. Look at it. Ooh, foreboding. That's intense. Okay, well, be well. See ya.